In this listening test, you hear some recordings, and you have to answer questions on them. You have time to read the instructions and questions, and check your work. All recordings are played only once. Section 1. You will hear a conversation between logistic company officer and a visitor looking to book a parcel for international delivery. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6. Now, we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, as the recording is not played twice. Listen carefully to the conversation and answer questions 1 to 6.
Hello.
Hello and welcome to our office. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
I am Tony. How can I be of help to you?
I am looking to send a courier to USA. I am looking for rates and timeline details on how soon my shipment can reach its destination.
Sure, I will update you on all the details. Can you please let me know the approximate size of your parcel and what it contains?
Why do I need to share what it contains?
This is the regulation both here, as well during international transits. We as your logistic partner, will have to declare to the custom officers about the content of the parcel. This is to be sure, the parcel does not contain any of the banned materials.
Transit of which all materials are banned?
The exact nature of permissible and non-permissible materials depends on country or destination. As a general rule, all inflammable materials, any arms, ammunition, pornographic material, drugs, medication that may be banned in either nations are banned. So are sending of any currency or expensive items like gold jewelry, unless it carries an apt declaration and insurance.
Okay. Thank you. It should not be a problem for me, I presume, as I am planning to send some books and clothes to my friend.
Yes, surely, it will not be a problem, but you will have to declare the constituents of your parcel, and give a testimony that the materials are for private use, and not part of any trade.
Okay, so please tell me the pricing.
For parcels measuring 2 square feet, the base fare to USA is $30. This is a regular service that takes up to 10 working days for delivery. For faster delivery options, you can opt for super speed service, which will cost $50, and assure delivery before 5 working days. For parcels above the size of 2 square feet up to 5 square feet, the charges are $40 for regular, and $60 for super speed delivery. These prices are for parcels up to 5 kilograms. Heavier parcels attract a premium fee. Your parcel size come in the size category of above 2 square feet, but is below 5 square feet. It weighs 2.7 kilograms, and so your liable transit fee will be $40 for regular, and $60 for super speed delivery.
Oh. These are slightly on the expensive side. I am not looking for a premium service. Is there any more cost-effective way?
Yes, we have a budget service, where the parcels are forwarded, using the domestic postal department. The charges for size category of above 2, but is below 5 using the postal department service is $20. The downside is that your parcel will only reach your addressee, in a timeline between 21 to 25 days. Sometimes the delays in transit can lead to a delivery timeline, of almost a month. These are more pocket-friendly, but are slow in terms of delivery timeline, so that is why we do not always recommend them to most of our clients.
I guess I will pass on the transit insurance. Please fill my form, and sign up my parcel for a regular service from the Postal Department service.
Sure. Can I have your details? Please tell me your name and address, along with the name and address of the receiver.
My name is Michael Prada. My address is 234, Green Street. The name of the receiver is Anita Kamek. Her address is 24 by 24 Pink Villas, Carter Block, New York, USA.
Can you please spell out her last name?
Yes, sure. Her last name is Kamek. It is spelled as K-A-M-I-C.
Before the conversation continues, you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 7 to 10.
Thank you. I have filled in the details, and have checked the shipment and filled in your details. Please sign the disclosure form, which is a must for international transits.
Yes. Thank you, I'll sign it for you right away.
Thank you. That would be $20 payment. Would you be paying by card, or cash, sir?
I'll prefer cash payment, thanks.
Sure. Let me help you seal the parcel. Once the shipment is sealed, you can pay out the fee, and I will give you a tracking ticket and submit your parcel.
Please ensure the seal is strong enough to withstand any regular wear and tear during transit.
Be rest assured, we make use of a super strong adhesive that is tamper-proof and does not come out very easily, and can withstand even moisture and water should it ever rain and the water seeps through the plastic cover.
Oh, that's nice. Good, then I did not seal it at home. I would have anyways had to reseal it here.
Yes, your parcel is now sealed and good to go.
Thank you, and here is your payment of $20.
Thank you. Here is your tracking ticket for the parcel.
This is end of section 1. Now you have some time to look at your answers. Now move to section 2. Section 2. You will hear a travel guide detailing must-visit places in New York, USA to a group of travelers. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 13. Now listen and answer carefully.
New York. New York, the city so great they named it twice, goes by many other names as well. Probably most interesting to the traveler is the unofficial declaration of being the world's capital. New York is the largest city in the USA, the fourth largest city in the world, and one of the most ethnically diverse cities on Earth. The city is made up of 5 boroughs, namely Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx and Staten Island. Start your trip with Manhattan, I would suggest. The island borough of Manhattan is one of the most important financial and business centers in the USA, and major center for international business. It is home to the New York Stock Exchange on Wall Street, as well as numerous skyscrapers in the southern end of the city, and the Midtown centered on Times Square at 42nd Street and Broadway. One of the reasons New York is called the world's capital is the presence of the United Nations headquarters, in addition to the ethnically diverse neighborhoods like Chinatown and Washington Heights. Next, the most ethnically diverse of the 5 boroughs, Queens offers the traveler a chance for great ethnic cuisine. It is also home to the New York Mets baseball team, the U.S. Open tennis tournament, and the Aqueduct horse racing track. As the location for both John F. Kennedy International Airport and LaGuardia Airport, it is also a likely arrival point for most travelers. Hop over to Brooklyn. The largest of the 5 boroughs is separated from Manhattan by the East River, over which the Brooklyn Bridge spans.
Before the conversation continues, you have some time to look at questions 14 to 20. Now listen carefully and answer questions 14 to 20.
Do not forget a trip to the Staten Islands. Located in the southernmost borough, in New York, and the only borough not served by the expansive New York subway system. Ferries crossing from the southern tip of Manhattan to Staten Island provide excellent, and free, views of the both Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty. The Staten Island ferry runs 24 hours a day, and is every half an hour from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. A must-visit location in New York, in the popular Central Park. Central Park is the best-known city park in New York and maybe even in the United States. It was the first ever urban landscaped park in the United States and was opened in 1859, although not completed till 1873. You would also love the sights of the Chrysler Building. Located at 405 Lexington Avenue and 42nd Street, the Chrysler Building was built between 1928 and 1930, and with 319 meters, it was for 1 year the highest building in the world. It was built in the Art Deco style that was fashionable during the 20s and early 30s. Love the heights? Go on and visit the Empire State Building. The Empire State Building is, at 381 meters, the tallest building in New York City, located at the junction of 5th Avenue and West 34th Street. Built in a typical Art Deco style that was in fashion before World War II, it was the highest in the world from the opening in 1932, until it was surpassed by the North Tower of the World Trade Center in 1972. After the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001, it again became the tallest building in the New York skyline. Visitors primarily come to the tower to have a look at the panorama over New York from the observation deck, which is located on the 86th floor. Most tourists tend to forget that in the building, around 1,000 offices are located, employing about 21,000 people. Offer tribute to 9/11 victims by a visit to the Freedom Tower. One World Trade Center, 1 WTC, or Freedom Tower, as it was called in the earlier stages, is the tallest building in New York City since April 2012, when it surpassed the height of the Empire State Building. The construction is part of an effort to memorialize and rebuild following the destruction of the original World Trade Center complex during the attacks of September 11, 2001. How about winding up your day by checking out the Statue of Liberty? One of the most famous statues in the world, it is not only an icon for New York, but also the entire country. The statue was a gift from the French people to celebrate the centennial of the independence of the United States. The statue was constructed in France, and after completion shipped to the USA, where it was stored for 11 months, to await the completion of the pedestal. The 46-meter-high statue was finally unveiled in November 1886. Liberty Island was closed after the attacks of 9/11, and only reopened in 2004. The statue interior and the crown was opened to the public again since July 2009, but limited to only 3,000 people a day. Two smaller statues predate the statue that is placed in New York. One stands in Paris in the Jardin de Luxembourg, and a second stands in front of the City Hall in Maceió, Brazil. After the success of these statues, it was decided to go huge. Nowadays there are several copies of the Statue of Liberty to be found all over the world. New York has, as you might expect of the Big Apple, all the eating options covered, and you can find almost every type of food available, and every cuisine of the world represented. There are literally tens of thousands of restaurants, ranging from dingy 99 cents a slice pizza joints to $500 a plate prix-fixe sushi. Street food comes in various tastes, ranging from the ubiquitous New York hot dog vendors to the many Middle Eastern carts at street corners in Midtown. Fast food is as plentiful and as diverse as you can imagine. Fruit stalls appear at many intersections, from spring to fall, with ready-to-eat strawberries, bananas, apples, etc. available at very low cost, and vegetarian and vegan options abound throughout the city. New York has one of the best nightlifes in the entire world. If you want dingy dive bars, underground clubs, giant discos, swanky lounges, or just a bohemian arty hangout, there are 1,000s to choose from no matter where you are in the city. Smoking has been banned in all New York bars. But be prepared, the drinks are not cheap anywhere.
This is end of section 2. You have some time to look at your answers. Now move to Section 3. Section 3. You will hear a conversation between 3 college students, Sam, Karen and Ahmed, about the annual cultural festival. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 26. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 26.
Hi Karen and Amit. Hope both of you are doing well. Let's discuss the outlines of the cultural festival management if free.
Oh yes, sure. Why don't we sit down in the cafeteria, where we can have a quality time, without any disturbance?
Yes, good idea. Let's go.
Sure, cafeteria sounds like a real good option. Let's go.
Okay, let us start with the very basics. I suggest let each one of us come with a broad outline, and their vision, on how to manage the fest successfully. We will then take the best ideas from all the 3 individual ideas, and make it into a final vision document.
This is a great idea, Karen. What do you think, Sam?
I am all for it. Let's start. So who would be the first to go?
Ladies first, they say, so I am going to start with my vision first. Okay, boys?
Sure.
Yes. Please go ahead.
Okay. So here is what I suggest. In my point of view, let us divide the whole cultural festival into 3 unique categories. These would be performances, the theme of the festiva, and the promotions. I suggest let each one of us handle each of these categories. For example, I can handle the performances part. Here I will be meeting all the performers in our college, and seeking auditions from all those interested to perform in the fest. Depending on their performances, I will shortlist the best suited performers, and plan out their performance itinerary. Likewise, one out of Amit or Sam can look at the theme of the festival. We choose the theme, and ensure all our performances, invites, marketing, promotions, and everything is in accordance with the theme. The theme needs to be an affair, which is close to the heart of most students, so that they can identify with it easily. Water conservation, for example, is a good idea, I had in mind as the underlying theme for our cultural festival. I am open to more ideas from both of you on having a theme, which works well and echoes well with majority of the students. After all, it's a festival of the students, by the students and for the students. Similarly, the last category of performance can be handled by either of you two. This is the most critical category, as this would involve getting sponsors on board, ensuring we send out invites to everyone, that is essential, including a guest of honor for our festival. All the marketing and promotional activities would come under this category.
I am in total agreement with Sam on this. This sounds like a very good plan. I don't think I would have drafted a plan better than this, Karen. Now I know why you have always been a good leader in our class. You break down complex tasks into manageable affairs so easily. Suddenly the fest management seems manageable. Otherwise I was almost having sleepless nights, thinking that we just had 30 days to accomplish this huge task.
I've always found breaking down a complex task into smaller doable tasks as the best strategy. Let's not be stressed, and be our confident selves. I am sure all 3 of us have our plus points, which we will enhance to make this a success.
Oh wow. These are all very good ideas, and with 30 days at hand till D-Day, I think we have ample time to ensure our fest is a success. The only change I would recommend is to have 2 people handling both performances and promotions. Let me tell you why I feel so. Firstly, promotional part is so huge that it may not be possible for one person to handle all responsibilities. From sending invites to marketing, and from promotion to creating a buzz around the festival requires at least 2 of us. Of course, the theme is equally important as the lifeline of the festival. One of us will remain focused on developing the theme around the festival. The other reason is that performances may require 2 people to ensure all auditions are done quickly. We have to finalize the performers in a maximum time of 10 days, so that we are able to give all shortlisted performers a minimum time of 20 days to be ready.
I agree with this on you, Amit.
What do you think, Sam?
Oh yes. As a performer myself, I recall last year, when I was performing in the festival, I was told to get my act ready in the last week. It was so stressful, and I had to hunt for a keyboard player, since my friend who played the keyboard was sick. Eventually we somehow managed to perform, but yes, 20 days is an absolutely critical aspect of performance.
This brings me to the point. Why not have music as a theme for our cultural festival? Music is something that drives each one of us, including all our fellow batchmates. Music helps us unwind and relax, and beat the stress. And with such a great guitar player in Sam as our fellow fest coordinator, music sounds like an apt theme.
Karen, you are flowing with ideas already. I second that idea.
Without sounding pretentious, I also agree that music is a great theme, and I am sure all fellow students would love to be a part of this festival.
Okay guys, so we have started already, and have finalized the theme for the festival as music. Now let us share the responsibility areas, and chalk down a budget.
Before the conversation continues, you have some time to look at questions 27 to 30. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 27 to 30.
Okay, I suggest Sam to tackle performances and marketing along with Karen. Both of you have a zeal for spotting talent, as well as good in promotions and marketing. I will take care of building the music theme, and how each of the performances, the decor, the invites, the overall ambience, and buzz is centered around music.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds great to me as well.
So guys, let's freeze it. I will handle the festival theme. Sam and Karen together will handle performances and marketing.
Now, let's come to the budget. As you know, the college offers us $500, but we will need at least double that amount. So obviously we will need to bring in sponsors.
Yes, let's start by visiting all music centers and classes in the area. I am sure some of them would like to be a part of our festival, and we can have them as sponsors. We can also talk to some of the music instrument shopkeepers as possible sponsors.
I see both of your marketing wizards are already on the job.
This reminds me, we should have a cup of coffee. I have heard it helps in bring out fresh ideas.
This is end of section 3. Now you have some time to look at your answers. Now move to section 4. Section 4. You will hear a talk about from a doctor, during Doctors' Conclave discussing medical tourism in Asia. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 38. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 38.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to this international conference on medical tourism. A term initially coined by travel agencies and the mass media to describe to the rapidly growing practice of traveling to another country to obtain health care. Such services typically include elective procedures, as well as complex specialized surgeries, such as joint replacement, cardiac surgery, dental surgery, and cosmetic surgeries. The provider and customer use informal channels of communication connection contract, with less regulatory or legal oversight to assure quality, and less formal recourse to reimbursement or redress, if needed. Leisure aspects typically associated with travel and tourism may be included on such medical travel trips. The concept of medical tourism is not a new one. The first recorded instance of medical tourism dates back thousands of years to when Greek pilgrims traveled from all over the Mediterranean to the small territory in the Saronic Gulf called Epidaurus. This territory was the sanctuary of the healing god Asclepius. Epidaurus became the original travel destination for medical tourism. Popular medical travel worldwide destinations include Brunei, Cuba, Colombia, Hong Kong, Hungary, India, Israel, Jordan, Lithuania, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore, South Africa, Thailand, and recently, UAE and New Zealand. Popular cosmetic surgery travel destinations include Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica, Cuba, and Mexico. A famous cosmetic surgery travel destinations in Eastern Europe is Turkey. While the tourism component might be a big draw for some Southeast Asia countries that focus on simple procedures, they are not alone in this market. For example, Panama, Costa Rica and India are positioning themselves to become primary medical destinations. India's commitment to this is demonstrated with a growing number of hospitals that are attaining the U.S. Joint Commission International Accreditation to help to capture the U.S. medical tourism market, while others looking beyond just the U.S. market to potential clients from the United Kingdom, Europe and Australia may also look towards other international healthcare accreditation schemes for brand advantage. Singapore positions itself as a medical hub for healthcare services, medicine, biomedical research and pharmaceutical manufacturing converge. Singapore has made international news for many complex surgeries in specialties such as neurology, oncology, and organ transplants procedures. Singapore boasts the largest number of U.S. Joint Commission accredited hospitals in Asia. Singapore claims to be Asia's leading medical hub, with advanced research capabilities, as well as 9 hospitals, and 2 medical centers that have obtained Joint Commission International Accreditation. Singapore Medicine is a multi-agency government initiative that aims to develop Singapore into a leading destination for healthcare services. Many patients come from neighboring countries, such as Indonesia and Malaysia. Patient numbers from Indochina, South Asia, the Middle East and Greater China to Singapore are also seeing fast growth. Patients from developed countries, such as the US, are beginning to choose Singapore as their medical travel destination for relatively affordable healthcare services in a clean cosmopolitan city. Singapore has made news for many complex and innovative procedures, such as the separation of conjoined twins and tooth in eye surgery. The successful separation of 10-month-old Nepalese conjoined twins in 2001 put Singapore's medical expertise into headlines around the world. Singapore has since accomplished many more milestones, both in Asia and in the world arena. Medical tourism is also a growing segment of Thailand's tourism and healthcare sectors. Lower labor costs translate into significant cost savings on procedures compared to hospitals in the United States, and a higher, more personalized level of nursing care than Westerners are accustomed to receiving in hospitals back home. Over 1 million people per year travel there for everything from cosmetic surgery to cutting-edge cardiac treatment. When Nepal Prime Minister Girija Prasad Koirala needed medical care in 2006, he went to a hospital in Thailand. Today many Thai physicians hold US or UK professional certification. The US Consular Information Sheet gives the Thai healthcare system high marks for quality, particularly facilities in Bangkok. Thailand offers everything from cardiac surgery to organ transplants at a price much lower than the US or Europe, in a safe, clean environment. Hong Kong has a superb medical infrastructure. A former British colony and now a special administrative region within China, it has 12 private hospitals, and more than 50 public hospitals. Among the widest range of healthcare services throughout the globe are on offer, and some Hong Kong private hospitals are considered among the best of their type in the world. With respect to hospital accreditation, Hong Kong's 12 private hospitals have looked towards a partnership with the UK, rather than the US or Australia for international healthcare accreditation needs. All 12 are Trent hospitals, having been surveyed and accredited by the United Kingdom's Trent Accreditation Scheme. India is known in particular for heart surgery, hip resurfacing and other areas of advanced medicine. The government and private hospital groups are committed to the goal of making India a world leader in the industry. The industry's main appeal is low-cost treatment. Most estimates claim treatment costs in India start at around a tenth of the price of comparable treatment in America or Britain. The South Indian city of Chennai has been declared India's health capital, as it nets in 45% of health tourists from abroad, and 30 to 40% of domestic health tourists.
Before listening to the rest of the talk, take some time and look at questions 39 to 40. Now, listen and answer questions 39 to 40.
Likewise, Philippines has been growing as a destination for medical tourism. Cost savings are significant since foreign patients can benefit from the lower overhead costs and professional fees. Doctors' fees and facility costs are much lower. Thus, procedures can be performed at a fraction of the amount that a patient would spend on the same procedure in the US or Europe. Philippine medical and nursing curricula are more difficult than many in Southeast Asia, and many Filipino doctors have acquired their postgraduate or fellowship training from well-known institutions in the US and other developed countries. Medical tourism carries some risks that local medical procedures do not. Should complications arise, patients might not be covered by insurance or able to seek compensation via malpractice lawsuits. Some countries currently sought after as medical tourism destinations provide some form of legal remedies for medical malpractice. However, this legal avenue is unappealing to the medical tourist. Advocates of medical tourism advise prospective tourists to evaluate the unlikely legal challenges against the benefits of such a trip before undergoing any surgery abroad. Some countries, such as India, Malaysia, Costa Rica, or Thailand, have different infectious diseases than Europe and North America, and different prevalences of the same diseases compared to nations such as the US, Canada, and the UK. Exposure to disease without having built up natural immunity can be a hazard for weakened individuals, specifically for gastrointestinal diseases, mosquito-transmitted diseases, influenza, and tuberculosis. Also, travel soon after surgery can increase the risk of complications, as can vacation activities. For example, scars will be darker and more noticeable if they sunburn while healing. Long flights can be bad for those with heart or breathing-related problems.
This is end of section 4. Now you have 2 minutes to look at your answers.